Dr. Engstrom. Good to see you again. Your test results are in. Unfortunately, the blood test results did show that you have a diagnosis we can actually give, and your presented symptoms are showing that you have type 2 diabetes. Now, if you do not change the way that you're eating, it will likely persist and it could worsen significantly. I advise you to make sure that you're changing your diet starting today.
Imagine 20 or 30 years from now, going to the doctor for a checkup and being told that you are close to suffering from a life-threatening disease because of your bad eating habits. Did you know that you could prevent all of these drawbacks that come from having a disease such as chronic heart failure, diabetes, or high blood pressure? The key is improving your nutrition.
So I have been struggling with good nutrition for all my life. I had for a long time, like when I was in college, which was one of the first times I was really like trying to be better, I did the thing where I thought I could like outrun my fork. My biggest issue is like moderation and quantity. So for me, that's my biggest nutritional issue, is more being able to identify when I have given my body what it needs and being able to say like, okay, I'm done now. You don't need any more, your body has what it needs. Physically, number one, I was unhappy with how I looked and I was just super uncomfortable with my meat. And so, you know, when you're unhappy with the way that you look, that impacts you mentally a lot. There's the movement, I can't remember what it's called, but, you know, like the love your body at any size and that kind of thing. And it's great for your emotional state, but all the same, having all that extra poundage, having those kinds of nutritional issues, it's not good for you. I think this is so silly. I was unhappy, but I was living in Lake Havasu City where there aren't a lot of options for shopping. And when you wear a certain size, it's no longer easy to find clothes like that. And I was mostly shopping at like Ross and Kmart. Those were my options. So I decided that I had to lose weight because I couldn't drive an hour to Laughlin just so that I can buy clothes at Lane Bryant. And so the tipping point for me, at least at first, was that financial thing. But now I'm just so glad that I started the journey when I did. So my number one piece of advice, especially if you're going on a long journey like I did, take a picture of yourself when you start. And here's why. It is really hard to be aware of the changes that you are doing, the positive changes that you are making. But when it's been 2 months and you still feel like you haven't done the progress that you have, or you're losing the weight but you're not seeing it, take another picture on your journey. You're going to wish that you had a picture of what you looked like when you started. Number 2, baby steps, small goals. Make small changes in your lifestyle. Don't, no one goes to the gym, or very few people go to the gym 5 to 6 days of the week, like as soon as they start something. You're not going to run a mile the first time you get on a treadmill or go outside. You're going to like walk 10 minutes and it's going to be really hard. The last thing is just remain positive. This is a hard journey, and sometimes like your numbers are going to go in the wrong direction, and that's okay, because you have to look at the big picture.
When I hear nutrition, I think about eating, like eating habits.
When you hear nutrition, what pops into your mind?
Mr. Calderon's class freshman year. We had a project where we had to create a meal, I think, like the perfect meal plan. where we tracked what we ate, and then we had to create like a week of our own meal, so it was perfectly balanced. We didn't necessarily look at calories, but we looked at nutritious content of each individual item.
Here at Bioscience High School, we count on well-equipped teachers that put in effort to teach the proper nutrition and its effect in our body. But students choose not to apply these healthy habits on a daily basis.
To me, being healthy means having a healthy plant-based diet, avoiding processed foods, a lot of sugars and fats, and getting enough exercise, getting enough sleep, reducing stress in your life, having a good social support, whether that's friends or family or both, and that would allow you to have a good mental health as well. And I think in a world where you have more healthy people, you would have more productive people, more productive workers, more productive students. There would be less sick days, less days missed, and there would be less money spent on health treatment for preventable chronic diseases like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and you would have a lot of happier people.
I do believe that district-wide, I think there is, since Dr. Gaston has arrived to district, now we have a nutritionist at district, so I think that lunches have improved, and not only lunches have improved, but now everybody gets, I think, free breakfast and free lunch, or free reduced or something like that. So having food is more important than not having food. And overall, having somebody at the top that can oversee the entire district is a plus. Well, because now it can only get better. So now what I think, and I'm gonna go back to what I always said, is that people need to get educated and people need to practice what they know. Some people need to take accountability for themselves and not blaming it so much on others. Nobody forces you to buy, a lot of sweets at the supermarket. People are spending their money. Nobody shoves food in your mouth. You still need to take it and eat it and choose. So, while it is not perfect, and there will never be perfection because we're talking about 27,000 students, and I think people need to start making better choices.
I think students are not always educated about what's important in their health. They're always surprised when they come to my class and we talk about diet and nutrition, because you're raised, for example, being told that milk is good for your bones, drink milk to have strong bones, and then we learn that drinking milk isn't always good for your bones. You're raised by your family and you're told messages by your family. There's conflicting information on the internet about diet and health, and so the general public is confused about diet and how it affects your health. So it can be confusing. They may be under a lot of stress. Students are not getting a lot of sleep, but they have a lot of homework to do. They have work, they have chores, they have homework. And so sometimes it's hard to find the time to get enough sleep, to get exercise, to have a healthy meal instead of grabbing some fast food. And I don't think students realize how important it is to maintain a diet, to get exercise, to reduce stress, to get a lot of sleep. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge for adults as well as students.
I always believe that more than a teacher, I'm a role model, and my actions speak louder than my title as a position, because nowadays anybody can post anything on Instagram and call themselves a coach or call themselves a teacher, but they don't I'm not gonna speak about anybody on Instagram. I want to speak about me. So it's easier for me to be a role model by acting and being proactive and knowing that every year I get 100, 120 students that I'm able to impact on a daily basis, than for me to hope one day to do it. I'm taking action. So for me, teaching is about you have the opportunity every day to come and take action, regardless of what the students do or don't do. But I'm doing my part. So yeah, I don't. Main reason was for me to be a role model, to be just right there in your face, like, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think and what I feel about this, something that I'm passionate about. I mean, I could have been passionate about physics or math or whatever, but I chose health and fitness.
There are people out in the community who are actually trying to make a difference by offering healthier options locally. In fact, students at our school have made efforts to help their peers on this issue.